Good morning, welcome to another video in Memphis. I have just arrived at Graceland. I wonder if it's been commercialized. Haha. Oh, let's see. Hi, I'm just stepping in here with a short explanation about the video clips you're going to see for the next two sites, for Graceland and the Civil Rights Museum. In both places you're not allowed to film inside. In Graceland I managed to get away with it, but obviously I couldn't narrate while I was filming because that would give the game away. They've got PE staff in just about every single room. At the second site, the rooms are much smaller and the presence of the staff is much greater. So on the odd occasion I was able to get a video clip, but for the most part it's just pictures, and I will put in captions to try and explain what you see, just to give you a taste of what's there. So sorry about that, but not much I could do about that. It's not quite like walking through nature. So just arrived at the actual mansion. These are the gardens in front of the house. Elvis bought this in 1956 for $102,000. His aeroplanes cost him much more.
It's good. I mean, it's like the biggest time I've ever seen. 14. It's very different for stuff.
And then they were ricocheting it. Yeah, the only way they would do that is if Elvis is aiming down. Why is he aiming down?
There's a fair bit of land here. I wonder what this is worth today, apart from the historical value. Must be quite a bit. This is the meditation garden that Elvis had built, and also it's become the grave yard, the site of the burial of, from right to left, his mother, Elvis himself, I beg your pardon, his father, and then Elvis, and people bring flowers and little things, tokens to leave, and finally his grandmother. These are just some of Elvis's cars. quite the collection. This is the one that I want. 1966 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. I would also settle for this, which is a 1960 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Hey, why have one Rolls-Royce when you can have two? Elvis had two planes, because like with the Rolls-Royce, why have one when you can have two? This was the small of his two jets, and this was his favorite. This one he liked so much he named it after his daughter, Lisa Marie, as you can see here. This is the inside of the smaller jet. It looks fairly luxurious. There's a glass partition here, so I can't go all the way in, but it looks quite fun. And this is the view of the cockpit. And this is the inside of the larger jet. Big sofa here, dining room table, another sofa, another table, TV. It also had conference room or meeting room with a fully equipped bar, a private little lounge, and this sofa converted into a full-size bed. That's the way to travel. And if you're going to have a private bathroom on a plane, you should make sure that the fittings are gold plated. That's pretty much the end of the tour of Graceland. It really was interesting and impressive. Lots of people here. It's a pity that I had to videotape surreptitiously when I was inside, but hey, what can you do? First world problems. This has been a great visit. Next place I'm visiting will be very different. So I'll see you at the National Museum of Civil Rights. So the weather has definitely changed for my second stop of the day. I am at the Lorraine Motel, which is now the National Civil Rights Museum, and the reason for that, or why here, is that it was up there where the room 306,
the number of people dying. A lot of it is
where in 1968 Martin Luther King was assassinated. So in 1981 this became a museum for civil rights, telling the story not only of Martin Luther King but also of the whole civil rights movement in the States.
Numerous leaders and organizations. How do you aware of the potential for revolution?
Wow. Speak about sensory overload. Spent about 2.5–3 hours here, if I wanted to see and read everything that I actually really would have liked to have seen, I probably need to spend 2 days. There's just so much information. It's also probably just as well that they didn't allow video recording, because I wouldn't have known where to stop. I hope the photos that I've shown gave you some sense of what happens at the museum here. It's an incredibly detailed look at the black experience from the arrival of the first white people in America, who brought the slaves with them, up to basically the assassination of Martin Luther King. And it's not a happy story, but there are some incredibly inspirational stories here. So if anyone visits Memphis, I strongly recommend that you come to this museum. From here I'm going to Beale Street, which is Memphis's version of what Broadway Street was in Nashville yesterday. When I was there yesterday, I don't think there'll be a gay pride march here. The only cloud on the horizon, no pun intended, is that there have been thunderstorms on and off here, and Beale Street is an outdoor venue. I'll go there and we'll see. Maybe I'll walk around for a little bit depending on the weather. So I will take a chance with the rain. This is Beale Street, and if Broadway Street in Nashville was the home of country music, this allegedly, excuse the bump, is the home of soul. So let's go and see. It's a little early on a Sunday afternoon, but let's go and see what's happening here. Seems like every restaurant here has a live band. Sometimes can be quite noisy, but definitely an atmosphere here. I'm really pleased the weather held off long enough for me to come here. Interesting walking up and down. It's kind of early for dinner, so I'm not going to eat here. Probably just as well, because the restaurants here are not cheap. Like a starter of wings is about $18–19, and your main courses will start at around $24–25. So that's a little pricey. Not outrageous, but a little pricey. So my favorite type of restaurant is Indian, and in Jerusalem there aren't any Indian restaurants. So I really enjoyed dinner tonight. A lamb curry to end my day in Memphis. Tomorrow I move on down into Mississippi, and the next video will be from there. So all the best, and see you then.